I can't believe
Pop,
you've never heard
rock.
pop, lock, and drop it.
That's like in my time would be
Okay,
like.
let me educate you. I think I was like in middle school, but it was really popular at our dances. Like we had no business being like 14-year-olds trying to pop, lock, and drop it like crazy, crazy,
No one
crazy.
does unless you are a dancer, but yeah.
I love that my mood lighting matches your jacket unintentionally. What was that?
Does
Heartburn?
it change? Does it change your mood?
Well, I'm actually in a good mood right now, so do you want it to change my mood? That's actually a question for you.
Scientifically, they said that pink, like calms people down because you could actually, they had weightlifters lift up weight and they would put like a
Okay.
color in front of their face, and pink was the
Uh-huh.
only color to where they couldn't lift their max. So like actually even like
Okay.
made them weaker. So they started like painting I think prisons pink. That's what they said.
So what you're telling me is that we should wear pink
We
every
should be calm.
episode.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah,
calm.
yeah. I think that's quite literally the opposite of what we should be doing.
That's why I feel
What?
rage.
I was gonna say, do we need to wear red?
I
Not
have
red.
red underneath
Not
this.
red.
Oh,
Are
I
you
hate you
hot
so
in
much.
that this week, sister? You're hot in that outfit.
No, these coats actually get better and better, like fitting and stuff.
I mean, they look cunty as shit. I love it. Okay, enough about you.
We'll see.
I feel like even though we have tried to kind of come up with an intro, this just feels more natural. Maybe we shouldn't do the little.
Oh, you don't want to do it? Hi, I'm Acid Betty,
Hi, and I'm Diabetti.
and we
We're
are the
the
Bad
Bad
Betties.
Baddies, and you're listening to the Petty Betty podcast.
That's right. I'm
Woo!
feeling petty today. How about you, Daya?
Yeah, I'm always feeling petty. I think you know this about me. Wait, what's new? What's new? It's been a week.
It has been a weekend. You've been traveling the world, have you not? You're the world traveler, the most popular girl in school.
Girl, shut your mouth. What were you doing?
Working.
Well, that makes two of us.
Yeah, but I
No,
wasn't traveling.
no. I feel like, well, I had a death in my family, so that was kind of
Oh,
boo
right.
boo. But other than that, yeah, just working. But you've talked to me. It's not like you haven't talked to me. We've been sending each other little voice memos here and there.
Yeah, well,
Me
actually,
bitching
no,
about.
you sent me. You sent me a screen cap, and then you didn't give me any information. We're going to be talking about that later today, so I'm super stoked.
Oh, are you talking about from Monet?
The drama,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, baby, just to let everybody know out there. I'm a petty bitch, and I keep all my receipts, okay? So if you're going to make claims, be prepared to have them backed up by Miss Diabetti Petty herself, okay?
Ooh,
So anyway, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Don't get me too pissed off right away, girl.
sorry. While we're still feeling light
No,
and fluffy, do we
yeah.
have to announce our winner? We
Oh,
had a giveaway, right?
we did, yeah. We had
We
our
had a
Petty
petty
Betty giveaway,
podcast
bitch.
giveaway. Oh shit, let me do this right. Let me see the information. What should we do? Announce the winner's name and then what they
Yeah, I
won
mean,
or what they won, and then so the winner, you say what's the name? Okay, are we say the username?
the username, because they applied on Instagram. That's how you won the
I'm
contest. So I think
guessing
we should
it's
just see.
pronounced Kawaii Senpai.
I think you're right.
Or if it's all Hawaiian, you pronounce every vowel, so it's like Kawaii Senpai
Okay.
or Pai.
Did you lived in Hawaii for a second, right?
Oh, no. I ran the Honolulu Marathon twice, and I helped people run it for the AIDS Project Los Angeles for a fundraiser, and I dated a guy.
That's so
It was
sickening.
in
Wait, you
Maui
ran the marathon?
twice. Yeah, that's how I have a
Remind me,
scar.
how long is the marathon? Remind me.
Is 26.2 miles.
But is it like
And
broken up
the
by different things, or is it just
Well, the
purely
Honolulu
like
Marathon says, looks like paradise, runs like hell,
okay,
because it's beautiful. But you're
okay?
running towards, I forget the name of the mountain, and then at like mile 24, you have to run up the mountain.
At mile 24, you're looking over the side of the mountain. You're like, should I just jump?
No, you're like, why do I have to go uphill now after running 24 miles? It really sucks. It really
Girl, that's
sucks.
like some amazing race shit.
Yeah, but it's something to like, it's an accomplishment.
Should we apply for the amazing race together?
I wouldn't do it
No.
with you because you don't speak any languages. I need somebody who speaks languages or something. We would be
Do you speak any
no.
additional languages?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
So we're
that.
just going to be like, me and you talking over each other like that and nobody understanding what's going on.
Yeah, like we would make great TV, but like we would not win.
I think that anything is possible. Never say never. Never say never.
I keep telling one of my friends to audition because he speaks like 55 languages.
Listen, Kawaii Senpai, you did not win a trip or anything with a travel agent, but what you did win was
Wow.
a Diabetes Moto Tea, a Neon Party Monster palette, and the Bad Betty sticker duo, which actually I have right here.
Do you really?
Actually, well, this one's mine. This one's the other stickers you sent me, which you can get on Acid Betty's website. Wait,
those
wait.
are my stickers.
There's
What?
there's Betty's head. There's the other Betty head. There's the Acid Betty and Diabetes sticker pack you can purchase for what, like $7?
Yeah. What an
Anyhow,
incredible price, Daya. That's an incredible price. It's a steal.
it's a steal, and I love stealing.
Hawaii got it for free, so what a steal.
So yeah, you can go to badbetties.com and find any and all merchandise. Cheers to that.
Thebadbetties.com. THEBADBETTYS.
I think that's how it's spelled. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Because you were like,
I know. I sounded like how you look in this monster outfit. Can you hear me swallowing? Can you hear me swallowing?
I can.
I know that you
But it's
hate
okay.
that.
It's all right. No, it's all right.
Is it gross when I do it?
No, it's okay.
You're like, it wasn't gross till you said that?
No, like on a level of like 1 to 10, it's like a 3.
What if you also got your coffee and then anytime we drink, we just drink together and swallow it at the same time? Okay, ready? Oh, but yours has a straw. It's going to make more sound. And then we just
Guaranteed
like project
they
out.
heard that because I put that on the mic.
Wait, this just turned into an ASMR station.
Yeah, no, the sounds I don't like is
Yeah. You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of old. There was a gas station in my hometown that had like a little chicken gizzards, like you know those things at 7-Eleven that keep it heated up, and there's like food underneath it. Well, there was like this one in my home. Yeah, but that sound always makes me think of the old men that were there every morning because I would stop on my way to school and grab a drink. Yeah, and those old men were just chewing on chicken gizzards, and it sounded just like that. Sorry, I know.
my family. That sounds like
Old.
my family.
Called you old.
All right, so every week we review the podcasts or the review shows that review the shows that we were on. So we are going to review the review shows to review the review shows and see if they will review our review show of their review show.
Yeah, and it's really not that serious, but we just
Yes,
we're
it is.
We're human beings. We have feelings.
I'm taking this very seriously.
Well, we also want to remind you that if you haven't subscribed, you need to hit that subscribe button, bitch.
Oh yeah,
Because we'll hold it against you. Okay.
For real, I'll find you.
And if you've already subscribed, that just means that you're gay. You're queer. You're queer. Cheers to that. Cheers, queers. Oh wait, okay, Acid. Now you know I love to do this like every time we're together or anytime we spend more than one day together.
Oh shit!
At the end of
I
the
was
day,
about to share something. Yes, I know where we're going with this.
At the end of the day, I love to do rose and thorns, and I feel like the girls have kind of caught on to it. But can I ask you what was your rose of this past week and your thorn of this past week? Just to get things started off.
Okay, I'm not sure what my rose is, so I have to think about it. But I know what my thorn was. And it's kind of bad and stupid, but it was the fireworks annoying my dog. It's very specific.
Girl, no, literally. Findy's the same exact way.
I like fireworks, but like, yeah, the sounds, because around here they've been setting up fireworks even like, I'm sure in 2 hours, it's like 1 o'clock right now in the afternoon. They'll be setting up fireworks like at 3 in the afternoon.
Now, does it go for like the whole freaking week? Or people just celebrating this whole fucking week out there?
I don't know. I've only been here for like 6 years, so I'm not
Girl,
totally
they may not be
sure.
Might not be fireworks.
That's what I thought yesterday, because yesterday was the 6th. And I think it's just over on the weekend, and then it's over. But yeah, my dog was like shaking and hiding and not having it. So that was my thorn.
How do you calm her down when she's like that?
We go to bed, and I just like, she cuddles right next to me. And then I
Mm-hmm.
put on this white noise sound on YouTube,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I just put that on the like really loud, and then she ends up going to sleep.
I would assume that you have one of those old black and white static TVs that you could just turn on. It would automatically be like,
I don't. I know that's
oh,
shocking.
I know what you're gonna get for the holiday.
The drag queen that has like the outfits that light up and do all that, ironically doesn't have out of date technology. I know. It's crazy.
Oh,
What's
okay.
my rose? Oh, well, my rose is ironically like I had friends over and I had a grill that like came with the house and I finally used it, so that was fun.
Is it a propane? Is it a propane grill? Like,
It's fancy. It's propane. It's metal. Has a little thermometer on it, and it also has like a side thing where you could like boil water, like a side like a stovetop
oh, wait, like a Blackstone?
shelf.
Do you have a
I don't.
Blackstone?
I think it's a Firestone. Maybe it is Blackstone. Something stone. Maybe it is.
A
I don't know.
Blackstone is
I
like
have to look
you can
at
do
it.
like hibachi and shit on it. I follow this mom on
No,
TikTok.
it's not hibachi. It's just like a stovetop.
Wait, since you started with Thorn, I'll start with my Rose because I feel like the Thorn is just really going to piss me off, and I'll get
Oh
like in the
my god.
mood. I'll get in the
Oh,
mood to start. Okay, so
are you
my
serious?
yeah, my rose is I had this epiphany. I had this epiphany this weekend. So, one of our good college friends invited me and my partner out to their lake house in Michigan. So we just had like a little lake weekend, and I disassociated from everything. I like logged off. I put my phone away. It was so nice. And they had like a little tiny beach that was kind of in their backyard. So not a lot of people were like in that area. So we just like laid out on this beach all day. I felt like a lizard. It was amazing. I literally just soaked up some sun. I tried to get a little bit of a little color to my
You look like a
body.
lizard too, so it worked. You look
I
like a
know,
lizard.
literally. I was sitting there like licking my eyes and they, I was shedding my skin.
Oh, I totally understand. I totally know. Yeah,
That's the reason I wear my hat so high. I wear my hat so high because I'm hiding what's
because
that?
you're a lizard person.
What's the cones on the top of lizards' heads called? Like the spikes. Ugh,
I
never
don't know.
mind. I
You're a
figured.
lizard person. Tell me.
Anyway, that was my rose. Is
It's on
I
the top of
was
your head.
a lizard on a rock on a lake this weekend, which was so nice, and I needed it because it reminded me that not only am I a human being, but I am an animal, and all animals love vitamin D out in the sun. Okay, so I just connected with nature. My thorn is I don't know what about 2020 made grocery stores shrink all their aisles. Actually, I do know it was COVID and they wanted to keep everybody distanced from each other. But okay, now
Oh,
it's
okay.
2025 and I feel like a lot of grocery stores haven't re-expanded their aisles to the size that they once were. And people don't, this is actually the thorn. It's not really about the grocery stores. It's about the people in the aisle at the grocery stores that don't understand road rules. You know what I mean? I'm like, if you're in a grocery store and there are people trying to pass around you or coming from the opposite side of the lane, maybe get your 12 kids and pull them behind you and tell them to fucking mind their manners because 12 children running around the whole aisle is not allowing for any sort of traffic flow. And then it's just me waiting in the cheese aisle for 30 minutes. And I
Yeah,
understand that
but a
that's such a
grocery
bitchy thing to bitch
store,
about.
someone with 12 children, that's their playground. You just got to let the children do whatever the hell they want to do.
I understand that, but also at the same time, it's like I did not ask to be the babysitter of those
To have
children.
children.
I didn't ask for that. So my thorn was just having to go to a
12?
grocery store.
Is this
Okay,
a
it
real
wasn't really
story? Someone
12.
had 12?
They literally had 3.
You need to
Crazy.
go to Sainsbury's in the UK and you
Okay.
need to experience how the English people grocery shop. They're
What
freaking crazy too.
do they just like
There,
flies?
there's no road, anything. They put their carts in your way. It's very like. Let's see in the comments. Let's see what people. Yeah, because I lived in the UK for like 2 years, honey. The grocery etiquette at
It's just
Sainsbury's was crazy.
Sainsbury's. It's just overstimulating. I'm like already overstimulated trying to look at all the options, but when I'm like cognitive of like children running around and trying not to ram into them with my cart because
Yeah.
I'm the babysitter for some reason, like no, that's crazy. But I'm not ever going to Sainsbury's unless you're with me and you can push me in the
Did you
cart.
do your rose?
I did, but
What?
I told you, yes, my rose was I got to be a lizard person.
Oh, right, lizard person.
And I told you I was going to go off on the deep end about my thorns, so now I'm ready to talk shit on these other podcasts.
I can't believe that a grocery store like made you lose your shit.
It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad because I'm so overstimulated already by just all the options and trying to get in and out to make my dinner, because if I don't eat, I'm going to have like a diabetic attack.
All
and that's just me being dramatic.
Absolutely.
Hey dolls, it's me, Bubba Figurative, with the Figurative Review of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 10. Oh, and I'm here with my illegitimate drag daughter, Ms. Wilhelmina Boxparts. How are you, Wilhelmina?
I'm super, Wilma. How are you?
I'm delish. Well, we kicked this episode off with the 4 bottom queens having to... Yeah, I didn't want to say... But yeah, the losers.
I'm calling them the losers.
The
I like
losers.
to make sure they know who they are. So the queens with the PETTIER car song, a.k.a. the Mud
Hold up.
Flats.
Very funny, yeah. Yeah.
First note.
Yeah.
I hate, this is me personally, there's few and far between drag queens that have like a character act that they put on as a persona that I genuinely enjoy. And I can already tell you that the one in the purple I'm not gonna vibe with.
Purple hair.
Purple hair is not for me right now.
Well, I think this is the woman in the red. Maybe this is like her show because the characters in the back look like her, right?
So you're not familiar with Miss Wilma Fingerdo?
I'm sorry?
You're not
Bless
familiar
you.
with the Fingerdo? The Fingerdo?
Oh, I thought you sneezed. No, I'm not. Is that who we're watching?
I will say I have watched their videos in the past, and
Okay.
they have been pretty nice about me in the past, so I do appreciate that. But it's been a few years, and I'm curious to see.
Well, since we haven't paused, I think it's funny that they're calling the group losers, which I think
they're
is,
just...
I mean, I've heard. I call us the losers, but I feel like I say it with a lot less heartedness. I feel like they're saying it kind of meanly, but that's
Well,
me.
I mean, that's what me and Ginger called you guys. Just kidding.
Yeah, and there's a whole song in Vegas Live called "Losing Is the New Winning" for a reason, because
That's right.
the losers are getting the gift.
And Daya reminded us that she won her girl group challenge.
As well, yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So she seemed to do fine.
You do
Not
fun.
anything
No.
too exciting. Orville was laughing his tits off at her lyrics, but then I realized Orville was just having a really good time.
Yeah.
And he laughed at everyone.
Yeah.
He didn't care what was
No,
going
he
on.
was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And then it was time for the trailer hitch girls, a.k.a. the Whiskey Chicks.
Yeah.
Acid went first. She did all right.
She was
She
apparently...
is not a singer.
No. She said she was having trouble finding her pitch, and Daya's like, she couldn't find her pitch, or her tempo, rhythm, or really anything. She, for some reason, decided to take her inspiration from Large Marge from
Pee-wee's
Big Adventure,
yeah.
which I have no idea why. But
No.
that's,
No, I just think she wanted to say large margin.
Yes.
Okay,
What's up?
Can I make a confession? I had no idea who Large Marge was because I had never seen Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. That was just not in my Rolodex of things that I have ever pulled from. And I felt like an idiot because I just recently had watched the Paul Rubens documentary on Hulu or Max or whatever it's on. And first of all, very good if you haven't watched it. But also, too, when they said Large Marge, I audibly gasped because I was like, wait, that makes so much more sense as to why Acid picked her. I had no idea that was like a character. I thought it was just something you
Tell 'em Large Marge sent ya.
randomly made up. It literally, I was like, oh my god, wait, this is an actual thing. So that was just me being airheaded.
Yeah.
But
And this is going to sound totally crazy, but for these two ladies, it's called being creative. I know that's hard for you to fathom, with these creative faces and these creative hairdos that they're wearing, but it's called being creative. Shall we continue?
Well,
let me share this.
Let's do it. I don't know. I'm kind of living for purple hair now.
Are you really?
I'm like, wait, she said I did okay. Maybe I like her.
Oh, that's why you live for her? Oh, my guy.
I was very confused.
Yeah.
She seemed to be having
But it was
a very
the
good time.
prequel to Large Marge. What brought Large Marge to the Pee Wee Herman milieu? And I don't even remember what she said.
It just seemed an unnecessary creation. I'm taking...
But I think it was also hard to listen to, so I think I just kind of
tuned it out.
I went to the kitchen. I think.
Yeah.
Tuned it out.
The kitchen of your mind.
Yeah.
The kitchen of your
because
mind.
that's the kitchen stop.
That's funny.
Then it was off to choreograph their numbers, which they had to do themselves. And the Key Your Car girls went first.
Yes, the mudflaps were taking the lead.
Yeah, Daya seemed to kind of
They had no
drive
leader.
Have you watched this?
That episode?
No, this. What we're reviewing.
No, you know how I said I
Okay.
was going to kind of prep for it? I did not because you told me
Okay.
you didn't.
Let's watch.
I'm like, let's make it 100% natural.
Direct ideas.
It was kind of weird because they're like, well, we don't have a leader, but
No, but Cuckoo had
Daya
things to
gets
say.
veto power over everything. I'm like, well, that kind of sounds like the leader.
Yeah, the Whiskey Chicks were next, and Denali clearly was driving that bus.
Yeah.
And
I changed my mind. I don't like purple hair anymore. I'm going back and forth.
Wait, you're making me stop for that?
Yes.
I'm going to kill you. You're
Just
doing
kidding.
this next week.
This must be how people feel about me on TV. Okay, next.
It is.
Week by week. Week by week.
By week.
Week by week. Me. Sorry.
Apparently, has some dance
training. She said she's a trained dancer.
She said that in the confessionals.
She didn't say that to anybody. She kept it on the DL.
Denali was acting as if both of them, the Muppet and the grandma,
We're idiots.
were idiots who couldn't handle it. So,
But the Mudflaps, I think it was Ginger and Cuckoo
Wait,
noticed that
that's so funny.
Acid could dance. They seemed to be like, oh, she's got some skills there. So, I mean, it didn't go unnoticed, but it certainly wasn't helpful to her choreographer. So as the queens got ready for the runway, Acid held court with Denali, Cuckoo, and Alyssa, and talked to them about these points. And I think Acid was trying to find a nice way to tell Alyssa and Cuckoo they weren't winning, so don't give your points to anybody but me.
Give your points to me. Yeah. She was like, we need to get behind someone.
Yeah.
We need to get behind. How about give our points to one queen?
Yeah.
But I think.
Did that come across like I wanted the points?
I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea that you were even having those conversations next to me that whole entire time.
Yeah, I never actually, I think as you saw as it rolled, I never once actually said I wanted them, and in fact, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like you were being tricky with your gameplay. You were being very tricky with your gameplay because I just don't remember you even talking about points around me.
Except the first week, because remember I keep reminding you, and you did, we did talk about it.
Wait, what part?
The first week when I went up to Cynthia and Alyssa and said we should talk about our points and pulling them together, and then you were like, "What are you saying?"
Well, that's because I wasn't being included.
And I told you the same thing.
Okay, yes, you acknowledged it. Yeah, no, I really don't remember you being that way, but that's also just because I probably was in my own little trashy world.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. But
you're
to
good.
be honest, when I was telling them that we should pull our points, I never once thought about me in that way.
Well, do you have anything else? Are you feeling a certain way about it? Do you want to discuss? Because I feel like maybe you have more to say, and I just don't know.
No, that was really it.
Okay.
No, I mean the more discussion goes into production. And we discussed I don't know how it was like I felt how production was going.
Okay.
So I knew if I was going to move ahead, production was going to put something behind me, which they never did. So I knew that you know what I mean? So I wasn't going to be like this floundering fish on TV being like, me, give me a point. And then I leave with 1 point because that's what they wanted. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because then I felt that. So no, I was just like, we can control this, meaning if we want to give it all to Cuckoo, which we ended up doing, Alyssa didn't realize that's what we were doing because that's what I was doing the whole time.
You were quite literally saying "fuck the patriarchy" the whole time.
Yes, and I was, and I told it to your face. I was like, if you're winning, you ain't getting shit because that's not how this is working.
Okay, you were. Yeah, that's tea. I do remember that. I
think all of them were like, well, give them all to me. Give them all to me.
Yeah, and of course, they all want that. There's not a lot of strong queens in this bracket. Do you know what I mean? I think there's some good queens. I really want Acid and Daya to go through. So without delay, it was off to the stage where the Mudflap girls kicked it off with Key Your Car. Daya was next, and I was surprised at how boring her lyrics ended up sounding.
She was a little underwhelmed. Thought she did a good job, but I was like, oh, she did too. She didn't stand out.
There was no personality in her lyrics. And
a little quiet.
Somebody else was the
Whiskey Chicks?
The Whiskey Chicks.
Oh,
and
speaking of...
You got something to say?
I mean, I'm not a country. I mean, I've got some country roots, don't get me wrong, but baby, I ain't sitting up here writing my fucking country. I ain't prepping for a country album, so I did the best that I could. Sure, it might have been a little lackluster, but like, I look cunt. And to me, that's what mattered. Okay, wait, wait.
Oh no,
Girl, I gotta give
another
you some,
sidetrack?
I have to give you, no, you'll appreciate this one because this is like some BTS, like, behind the scenes shit people did not get to see. So, we were supposed to pick out our outfits for our girl groups, right? And I had brought a couple options. Cynthia brought a couple options. Ginger had one option, which I love a diva that has her mindset. Don't get me wrong. But when we're working as a group, it was a little frustrating because I was like, okay, so because Ginger only had one outfit, let's match ours to Ginger's, okay? So me and
Okay.
Cynthia are very different opposite ends of the
Got my things
spectrum
over
as
here.
well. No, but like me and Cynthia
Yeah.
didn't have a lot of overlap in our outfits. So that is what led to me and Cynthia having to take whatever black and silver costume pieces we had and kind of just style it the day of. And I, the night before, stayed up late. This is when Cynthia sent me the cookies to my hotel room through the PA because she didn't want my blood sugar to get low. But I was up making like silver or purple armbands, purple tights and stuff. That way we all looked like a cohesive unit because my whole thing is visually I wanted us to look like a girl group. And I feel like we were on camera talking about that. They just didn't show any of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was just some BTS tea.
What are you wearing? I don't know what I'm wearing. I will say, Acid Betty's outfit
I loved it, but
it was super fun, but we couldn't see it because it was too bright. Everything was too bright.
if it had been black matte, like just a black denim or something with all of those lights, seen the lights better. Also, I didn't hate that wig. Michelle hated her wig.
Hold up.
I didn't.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, no, girl, you couldn't see anything because it had nothing to do with your outfit on the screen. It had everything to do with Wilma's eyesight. Maybe she just needs to go to the optometrist.
No, the outfit's amazing. Also,
the outfit's so amazing. It was my favorite look.
Yeah, they started the show like our number like dark. So I thought they were going to kind of like feature it, but I don't think it made the timing, because they got to cut all kinds of stuff to fill all the.
Right.
There's so much.
No, everybody loved that outfit. That outfit was so cunty.
I know what
and
I don't
it
like
looked
about
hard
it,
to
and
move
I
in.
think it looks great. Yeah,
it looked hard to move in though. Like I was like thinking, how is
That's
she not like
everything.
slicing her skin? Like you were not filleting your skin open the whole time while you were dancing.
Oh no, it's not bad at all.
Really, I feel like those
Let's
glass
continue.
mirror pieces would just like cut me up.
No, it's
Okay.
well made.
Okay, period. Well, it looked cunty. So Wilma, you're wrong, girl. You're wrong on that.
But what bothered me was that her hat kept coming
My
off.
hat kept slipping off.
But it never touched the ground. She kept her hand on it.
Okay, hold up. Do you remember this at all, or no?
Yes, of course I do. Of course I remember. I remembered how there was a lot of things that went wrong in your group.
Yeah, no, but do you remember that the hat wasn't an issue at all? That there was actually everyone had their hat pinned to
I was
their
going to
head.
say that was the least on the list. That was at the bottom of the list of things that were going wrong.
And they had a take, and then my hat was one take, the hat like came off, and then they even said, "Well, let's do another take," because Acid Betty's whatever has an issue, and they used every moment that my hat would like move on my head. And I was like, "Thank you so much for not giving me the Cynthia Lee Fontaine edit."
That's kind of your problem that you didn't secure it down the way you should have. We should have asked me for a safety pin.
Because we did it. No, that's not it. Because we did it 3 times, and then we had it pinned, and we were doing a certain number of times. They're like, "Unpin your hats." That's not true. Yeah, that like we hit. It was all whatever.
Well, if I remember right, I think
it looks good, and I just know. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say Alyssa's hat was also falling off. I do remember that multiple of times.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I remember like dodging her elbows and things. That's what I remember.
Well, you guys cleared.
Honey, she is unaware of anyone else on the stage when she's on the stage. All right.
Just on the stage?
The lyrics weren't memorable.
It made no sense. Like, the large march thing made even less sense in the context of the song. So it was like, okay, well, she didn't do a bad job, but she didn't do an amazing job.
Yeah. And then it was time for the runway category. Night of 1,000 Mileys. And this was a fun runway.
This was a fun runway. I mean, everything with a look of Miley Cyrus from a BMA.
Yeah, well,
Like,
what else is she wearing? Ask Betty was first, and she had an interpretive notation of what Miley wore to the 2015 VMAs. And what she did to make it better or different was a full-length skirt. The chandelier skirt was down to the ground. And
not showing up her boobies.
No, and she had
classy lady
crystals in her mohawk, which was nice, and her makeup was fabulous.
A little Thunderdome mohawk.
Yeah, I just hated her sequins to show where her breastises were because it looked like a skid mark in a pair of underwear. Like it was just
like the silver straps seemed to be over a little
amazing
too far. Like they needed to be a little more central. And then I like the idea.
She doesn't like a spread out titty.
Using the sequence for the cleavage, but it was just slightly off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I still gave her a finger due. I thought she looked gorgeous. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you could take styling notes and go to Charming Charlie's and go get one of the necklaces that Wilma has on, and it would cover up a lot of that skid mark boobage that you had going on there. Also, how the fuck did you walk in that dress? Because I was so terrified you were gonna pop one of the crystals off of your Miley dress.
Yeah, no,
I know
really well made.
Joshua made that,
really
right?
Well made.
Joshua?
Yeah. I don't want to badmouth it, but everything they're saying I agree with. I'm not a titty queen. When I saw the design, I was like, I don't wear boobs. I don't do boobs. I don't like the boobs. And then honestly, when we had it, he was supposed to provide me with little padding or whatever, to give great boobs. And it just wasn't it wasn't in the thing. And then when I was at set, I was like, well, fuck it. I don't have anything to pad the boobs with, and I don't, so I just wore it as it.
Next on the runway, Daya Betty, who, from the 2013 Met Gala, and this was an interesting departure from Ms. Daya.
She looked gorgeous.
She did look gorgeous. The hair was kind of fun. I wish it was a little bigger spikes.
Yeah.
It just felt a little timid. Yeah. But the whole net and glitteriness of the dress was quite cute.
I wish she had done it in pieces, though, because the netting and the dress were all one piece that zipped up the back. I wish that the sheath underneath had been one thing, and then the netting dress had been another, because it was too tight. It didn't move. The reason it looked so good on Miley Cyrus was the netting moved as she moved, so it really gave you dimension and contours, and it was great. And I think a lot of those.
Well, Miss Wilma, fun fact for you, they are two separate pieces. They are two separate dresses, actually, and it's just because I'm a big old tall-ass man. It was just because I'm a big old tall-ass dude, and I can only move a certain way up and down that runway with two tight-fitting gowns on. Baby, I don't got them natural body. I had on my corset body. I was doing what I could do.
I hear what she's saying, and what Garrow could have done is he could have added an inch or two on that black net, and it would have moved more. I hear what she's saying, though. That was the first thing that I heard something that I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting point. But it looks.
I'm trying to look for it because it's hanging up over here somewhere.
Legs.
But
it looks like in your tits and crotch and legs, which is moving, it looks like it is giving that effect. So I don't know. I just I do think though it is choice words, and she did say she wishes they were two separate pieces, and the fact that they were two separate pieces is okay.
They were two separate pieces, and you know why? I made it very clear when we made the design. I was like, here's the reference. I want it to be two separate pieces because I want to wear that fishnet dress for other shit. Because now I can wear it as a separate outfit. So it is separate, but now I'm going to have to do a whole body check because now I'm insecure about it. Okay. So
today's
we decided to switch to our wired headphones. Because we're doing I Live for This podcast next. Is that correct? Paying homage.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I'm feeling the vibes already.
But I'm still using my microphone here.
What if the sound quality just got really extra shitty, even shittier than it was for me the first time?
Oh, I was thinking, what if it gets really fierce, and we found the cure is that this is the answer.
everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I Live For This with Trinity.
Hey!
And
Look at Chantel.
Sparkles.
She looks good.
Okay,
and
Miss
I
Sonic
didn't
the
realize,
Hedgehog.
Acid is a trained dancer.
I didn't either. When she said it, I was like, "Okay, bitch, you better pull
Wait,
it out." And
is
start.
that who she's dressed as? Is Sonic the Hedgehog?
What
Miss
do you-
Chantel?
What else would you say it is? If you
Oh.
if you had to guess.
I knew her makeup looked different. So she's trying to do
What?
like a little nose thing.
Okay, maybe she's just trying to be in the next production of Cats, the musical.
Jellicle songs
Cat
for
and
Jellicle Hedgehog.
Cats. Wait, can you do a version of Memory with something from Sonic?
I don't know Sonic.
Wait, honestly, you now that
No.
my screen is
When
you.
I saw Sonic, like when I saw the game, I was so mad
Uh-huh.
that I was not into games because I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh my god, this
Very
looks
your
like
vibe.
my jam.
Fully. Why aren't you into games? You're not a gamer girl.
No, because
Did you ever?
my mind is a certain way, and it's not. I can't turn it off.
Like the
that.
game or your brain or both?
My brain, so I can't turn it off to play a game, so I don't enjoy it. When I start playing a game, I immediately start going to the things that I should be doing instead of playing this game.
So that's where you got in your head during the competition of RuPaul's Drag Race. So that was your downfall, because you didn't play Sonic the Hedgehog growing up.
Yeah, blame that. That's why I didn't do well. That's why I was the top the whole way and just was never winning. Mhm.
Wait, honestly,
Sonic.
you next to Chantel with your hood
No,
on
I know,
and her
right? We're
hair
like
is kind of
twinsies.
fierce.
Wait. Let me
Kinda
try to
fierce. You look like some cute couple or something. And then you give birth to like a little purple Irene the alien.
I live. I've got stuff to say about some of the I mean, not bad, but like I'm so excited for future shit about it. You got me thinking about stuff. All right, can we move on? Shall we play? Sorry.
Yes.
Start doing the old school drag dance techniques, honey, because she was like,
Yeah, and she said she's like 50 or something like that, and for her to be her age, she was getting it. I was
yeah.
like,
And what's funny is like the team was watching them, Ginger and them, and they were like,
Oh, yeah.
shit,
oh yes,
we might
Oh,
be
yes.
up for elimination this week."
Hello.
Hello.
Acid, Alyssa, and Cynthia team up and say they need to pool their points so that they can push whoever they want to go to the next round. I find Acid very, very smart. She's very strategic.
Oh, very.
Without being shady. And I like that. I think she was kind of done dirty last week, and so she's caught on already. She's like, "Girl, we gotta pull the points if we want one of our alliance to move forward. We're gonna have to give somebody the points."
You know what? When you said Acid, I literally get Acid and Daya mixed up because they're both Betty. I thought you were talking about Daya. Daya is also very planned and thought out.
Yes, but she is a little bit more. I don't want to say malicious. She's just she doesn't have other people's interest at heart. She's there for herself, which is totally fine. I mean, you're there to compete. Acid has her teammates in her, like she wants the best for them.
Yeah, you can tell even with last
Do you want me to pause this?
That is all accurate. They got me good, girl. They got me good. No, that's tea.
That is tea. You were very central to yourself, but that's the game.
That is how I play a game, baby. That's my strategy.
Yeah.
I'm in it to win it, and I ain't splitting this check with anybody else. So fuck the other hoes, okay?
I feel like if it was really a like if it was really like 1-on-1, the casting would be impossible. Everyone would want to do it. They would have no problem asking anybody to come back, except for the people who know they'll lose, like Bianca Del Rio.
like when they were doing the ideas for the in tandem with she was throwing all the ideas out. She's like, I want to make sure we have ideas.
Oh,
she's very much a team player.
Yeah. I think she's getting a great edit this time. Like, total opposite of what she was her original season.
So the first one is going to be Acid Betty, and let's talk about this look. I really wish that they would have did like a side by side of what the look was supposed to look like.
I think they did.
To remember what she was supposed to.
They did.
I do know that like looking at this look, it's a little busy for me. Like there's a lot of different things that I feel like could make this a little better. I honestly did not.
What, you don't like random 3 silver tape things hanging from the gloves?
I'm like, I think what she means is she would put a big blue wig with animal ears on
like
it.
she doesn't like gardening gloves
with the stones. It to me, it just didn't look polished. The hair was a little fried looking. Like, I just feel like the hair could have been like styled up and more coiffed and fierce. I don't know. I did say that this was a good pussy because I did like the aesthetic and like what she
Wait until
brought to
Trinity
her,
speaks.
because like Acid is usually like really crazy and out there.
Yeah.
And for her to bring this type of drag, I was very impressed. But I would have said great pussy if like the nude wasn't so like distracting and probably the hair was a little bit more coiffed.
So, hold on. No, ma'am, you don't climb across there. Go. So she's trying to climb across the computer.
She's talking to me?
I love it.
You're in heat.
I'm judging it based off of Acid. When I wear this, I'd wear the skirt part.
I know you
but
I wouldn't wear it.
I can understand what you're saying with the other things. But comparing this to
I
other
also didn't like her
stuff,
shoes. Did you see her shoes?
Yeah, but like if you're looking at it, the shoes are a non-factor because they're nude.
Shoe fetish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought this was one of the better of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked glamorous for Acid. Like, this is like Acid if she was to be a pageant queen, because you know she don't do glamorous like this.
Yeah.
I did like the hair because it's Acid.
Yeah.
I like that she took the original and made it Acid.
Yeah, the girl was wearing dreads.
Yeah, I was like, girl, well, okay, Chantel, the alternative to the wig that Miley was actually wearing was dreadlocks, and we're not going we are not going Thorgy Thor up in this building.
No, we're not appropriating Thorgy's culture right now.
Like, girl, so I don't know. I thought that wig was... And that's the thing, is it's like you're being asked to do a recreation, not necessarily an exact interpretation, because what's the point of doing an exact interpretation?
Like, Acid Betty, to me, would have a human hair mohawk, which is what that is,
fully
teased up and looking a little rough and tough because she probably had a rock concert the night before, opposed to the kind of wig that Chantel wants me to be wearing, which I get, which is similar to what's on her head, which is a synthetic wig, which has like a shine to it and a finish to it. But I don't do synthetic wigs. I don't like that shininess, that it gives.
Well,
that's
and also it's also kind of like you were saying, Acid would be like slept in like hair from a concert the night before.
Yes.
I don't understand. Sometimes girls get critiques for things like that. I'm like, but it doesn't make sense for Acid's brand to be wearing like a fucking coiffed fucking blonde.
Yeah, like I remember Georges had this beautiful mohawk in the last All Stars, and it was big and blonde. It was like white blonde,
the pink,
and it was beautiful. But it was again synthetic, and all the curls are boop, boop, bop, 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 perfect and bop work. I did that like 15 years ago. That's not me. And no, I'm a rough and tumble bitch. I'm human mohawks. I'm weird. I'm crazy. Fried out.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyway.
Strung out.
I agree with them. I thought it was fried out. I only thought it was I wish it was bigger.
That's the point. And you know what? Miley would also have fried out hair too if she were to redo it, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I wanted to look like my hair.
Miley, if you're watching, leave a comment below. Yeah, get Kylie Sonique's phone number, and then we need to ask her for Miley's phone number.
You were about to like me. I was like, the minute you said Kylie, I was like, do I?
Remember when we were all told that it was going to be a night of 1,000 Mileys, and everyone's like psyched because we thought Miley Cyrus would be there as the guest judge. We're like waiting for it.
Were we psyched that Miley was going to be there?
Well, all the youngins were. I don't know about the old. I don't know about
After
the
Ariana Grande
old school
and
girls.
Cynthia Erivo showed up. You think
Why are we
that was
pitting
it.
women against each other?
No, because when they showed up, that
Why
was
are
the
you
thing.
pitting women against each other?
I am right now. Because we said there's no way, because we were like, that budget is crazy. And then they were like, oh, are they really going to be like all-starry, and like give us like major girls every time? But I didn't think it was going to be Miley just because we just had Ariana and freaking Cynthia.
Yeah. Did you think it was going to be maybe Billy Ray?
No, but I thought if like Miley showed up, it would have been like such a gesture on her part. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
For sure. Well, she loves the girl. She loves the girl. She's watched every season.
But I don't know if we would have gotten the same, like, her dressed, like, as so much energy because, I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll never know.
Maybe that's me. We will never know because she was there and they never aired it.
She was just in drag the whole time, hiding.
She was Alyssa Hunter.
LOL.
And she's in a simple nudish black, it's like a black mesh nude gown. And giving very like Y2K spiky hair. It's one of Miley's looks that she's done, obviously. I will say good pussy because I did like how clean it looked.
Yeah.
I like the hair.
Love the hair.
Yeah, the hair is sickening.
Me too.
But for Drag Race, for like Runway, I just was expecting more. Like, I want more, bitch.
It was very plain.
Yes. And like,
and it looked just like the original. That's
it did.
Not the issue. She should have just picked something else.
Right. And the thing is,
okay.
I have to say, you got something. I was like, I stopped it for me. I was like, these bitches are going to be mad because it doesn't look like the original, right? Why does this not cosplay? And then now they're mad because it looks like
exactly
the original.
Like it. It makes no fucking sense. You literally were reading my mind at this exact point. Also, again, with the screen grabs from the episode, whoever's on the social team at RuPaul's Drag Race, girl, can we not use screen grabs that show my body looking like I'm a crunched can at the fucking grocery store, girl? I'm like bent over weird sideways. Like, what the fuck? Like, girl, that is the can at the bottom of the box that's put in the back of the shelf because it is crunched and people aren't going to buy it. Why are they using that screenshot? That drives me crazy.
I think that's the movement of the Fabergé.
They wanted to hide the zipper in the back because everyone has something to say about the zipper. Girl. Well. Mine looked too similar. Yours didn't look similar enough. We can't please the dolls.
It's like, you know, these queens go onto the show and they're like, well, I want to serve fashion. I want them to know that I'm a fashion queen. And it's like, girl, you can do that when you get off the show with your platform. Show them those things. But like when it comes to the runway, I feel like you need to be bringing shit that people want to see and like try to recreate or get inspired by. Because like, you know, we're drag queens. We're the people that inspire fashion.
Yeah.
You know, and this is giving cosplay.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like the dress is just really simple. I agree with you. It is a good pussy. I do love the hair.
It's a good pussy.
I think this is...
And she looks fucking incredible in the face.
Again.
Yeah, I think this is executed perfectly for...
Again.
I disagree.
I'm just saying, girl. I'm like, first of all... the way that I'm just really focusing on Trinity and Chantal, and it's literally me and you again. No, but okay, whatever. I have nothing to say to these divas.
She did. I just would have chosen a more exciting look.
I see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not singling her out.
Wait,
I'm
let them
honestly
finish.
talking about all the girls because like there's a lot of underwhelming looks on here that I feel like we could have done a lot more with.
I don't feel like there's a lot of interesting looks of Miley's. I think they're like that teddy bear look is like it for me.
You also have to like remember that it's something you have to find on Getty Images.
Yeah, it was specific.
And there were other looks that I wanted to do that I could not find on Getty Images. There's specific rules you have to follow, and they know that.
Yeah.
Trinity knows that.
Oh.
Girl.
You know that. Well, can I say I wanted to do Denali's look.
But okay, wait. Yes, you can say that because when I first was thinking of ideas, I was like, I'm not even going to send that in as an option because I know some diva already snatched it. And she snatched it like right away because I know you tried to get it. And
Girl, they literally were
well.
like, sent the email, hi, let us know, which look you want to do or whatever. And then I called or responded within the time. Like, it literally was like, red, I already knew. They're like, sorry, it's already taken. I'm like, how the hell?
Girl.
Was it already taken?
Yeah.
I knew it was Denali.
She was ready for it. Okay, diva.
But wait, I want to say the reason why I was going to do it is because I was going to be the bear and I was going to wear a Miley Cyrus.
Inside? You were going to like unzip yourself and you were going to be Miley?
I was going to have basically like a dead Miley Cyrus and then be the bear. That was the concept. I think there's like a bear on the chest and I was going to have like a dead Miley Cyrus face.
That's very, what's that scary movie? It kind of looks like Nightmare Freddy's? Nightmare of Freddy's?
Yes.
Whatever that is.
Very much
That's
like
what
that.
It makes you think of.
Yeah, I was going to
that.
be the bear and then have I was fucking wearing Miley Cyrus's body or whatever. All right.
I really thought that Acid Betty did a really good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what people don't notice, Acid is a trained dancer and she's a singer. Acid Betty did like legit music theater for a long time. People don't know that about her. Like, what a well-rounded queen. Ugh, so good.
I remember back in the MySpace days, I had never met Acid Betty, but I reached out to her because I thought she was cool. And I was like, I'm coming to New York. And she was so sweet to me when I got there. And I'll always remember like how nice she was when I went to New York.
Acid is very sweet. But I love that when she's
Okay, hold up, though.
That's so cute,
That's
Acid.
funny. Remember how, though, I was telling you about how there's all the gig, there was like the vein of all the venues and stuff, and everything came from New York?
Yes.
That's how we would communicate, is like at that time it was like via MySpace, but that's how like some of us entertainers, who were doing the work was communicating. And I don't remember how we communicated, but yeah, she came to my party.
Is that the sex party you threw?
No, that's the black party. No, this was a party where we sang in front of a live rock band every Friday night.
I love that.
And she came and was showing me pictures of her dog, like with her dog.
Love that.
And I was one of the first people to look at her and go, "Are you a woman?"
So
she was like, "What do you mean?"
Clocked her tea.
Yes, I was like, "Only women pose with their dogs like this. Like you are giving a woman down in these photos." And look at the woman who sits before us now, honey. I mean,
so gorge.
Fucking stunning. Here's a little word of cuckoo, whatever. But I got a list back in the day of who the producers wanted for RuPaul's Drag Race first season. And it was like 40 queens. The yes, maybes, and nos. That was the order. I was a yes. I think I was number 6 or 4 or 5, whatever. Sonique was number 1.
Well, I mean, good taste, honey. Good taste.
Emoji is like showing her spikes.
Oh, yeah.
And next, the queens tackle choreography. Daya, Ginger, and Cuckoo were a mess, but Denali, bitch, she was cracked.
Yeah.
I said on the 2. Like, she was on it. And their group, they look really polished.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the strongest dancer?
Denali,
yeah.
for sure.
I would agree with that. Daya and Ginger, because they won last week, they feel like they have to have each other's back and protect each other. But then we see Acid is trying to start this other alliance with her, Cynthia and Alyssa, because they're the underdogs. But meanwhile, the workroom is this big. And Acid is literally screaming about this alliance. And Daya, Betty, and Ginger over here. Well, Daya, Betty really is like...
They're like right next to each other. I love everything that Acid did except for the hair. The hair is not Miley Cyrus at all.
Yeah, I think, obviously, Acid dragged up a lot. I like this look. I think Acid, took Miley's and, dragified it. I didn't love the rhinestone titty thing. I didn't love the titty thing that she did, but I love
If you don't wear titties, bitch, wear titties.
Yeah, just wear titties. I don't understand why she didn't just do that.
Why are drag queens scared of titties these days?
True. Yeah, I think she looks good. I love this crystal crown she made as well. She put a little acid into Miley.
But we asked for 1,000 Miley's.
Not 1,000 acid
Not a
Miley.
sprinkle of acid.
This is Miley on acid, girl. She's on her to Joshua Tree. She's on a journey. Let's go on to Miss Daya.
Wasn't there a phase where Miley was on a lot of acid? Wasn't that glitter album?
That was
eating glitter.
Yeah, the Dead Pets album. It has the song "Do It" on it. Really sickening, by the way. No, Miley, I feel was on acid a majority of her career. So,
yeah, totally.
I don't know. See, that the girls are only mad because they can only really read you on one thing. That's just how sickening you are. It's just the hair.
But I agree with them on the boobies, and I agree with them like on the boobie stuff. But I told you I didn't really want to have boobies, so.
Well, Monet's saying something about how flat your chest is and she wanted real boobies, but look at the back of her wig. It's literally like teased only from the front, and then when she turns to the side, it's like squished like that. So let's not talk about flat, Monet, okay?
Oh, wait till let's hear them read your wig, and then we'll hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Betty doing this 8.
This one was immediate. Like you get it's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the hair was so good too. Like,
Yeah.
she nailed Miley's hair. I love this look on the other side, Betty.
She ate with this one.
Yeah, I agree. Who had your favorite look?
Diabetes.
Oh, there you go.
For sure.
Oh,
Like,
Denali
in
too.
Denali. Yeah. Pulls.
Look, this mark for you a little bit.
Collectively looking at it, everybody did a decent job. But I would say Acid Betty and...
Acid Betty?
Yes, honey.
Whoa.
I'm not saying it's not good. It just
Yeah.
does not scream Miley
Miley
to
to
me.
you.
I
Damn.
mean, like I said, the only thing they could read you on was the wig, girl.
Yeah, no, I know. I understand that she really wanted me to appropriate Thorgy's culture, but I think that was rude. I think Thorgy's culture should be, held sacred. Whatever Thorgy's people did, we should not
Absolutely.
joke around with and just be like, I've got Thorgy's hair on my head. So I hear her. No, but you know what's funny is, maybe I have it or I'll give it to Alana, but Sonique reached out to me.
She did.
And was like, girl, I just want to let you know it's all just fun and play. And I should, what? Should I play it?
Yeah, play it,
Did you know
bitch.
that
I love that you keep receipts like me.
No, but the way she said it was like she read me for filth, and that she said nothing mean at all. That's why it's so funny.
Yeah,
that
I was going to say
that shows how sweet she is. Do you know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm so, girl, I really let you have, I don't, you know what I mean? She's like, it's just tea. And I'm like, I was waiting. And then she's like, I don't like your hair. Really, girl? You think I'd be like, ugh?
You were really bracing for impact, but there was really nothing. Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Was it a voice message? You saved a voice message?
We voiced back and forth. Let me see if I have them. Oh.
Hey there, Acid. I just wanted to say to you how fucking incredible you have been to watch you on All Stars. I'm so glad that they brought you back. I think you're fucking sickening. And I really enjoyed getting to watch you and doing the pit stop. I think that your look was absolutely incredible. I hope that anything that I said on the pit stop, is just pure entertainment and there's no...
Oh, sorry that my phone has a timeout.
Okay, honestly...
No. Wait,
that's a
no
major
malice or anything like that. In my opinion of watching the TV show and giving a quick reaction as to what I seen or what I thought, I hope that it comes in all good fun, and I don't want to discredit your art and your hard work. So I just wanted to reach out to you and tell you how happy and proud I am of you on Drag Race.
Is that not crazy?
No, but it was sweet for her to reach out. That was nice. She was prepping you for something that wouldn't even need to be prepped for.
Yeah, well, I was nervous. Yeah, exactly. You didn't even ask me what I have on my hands now.
Well, I'm not I'm not surprised by anything that you have on your body, but those are pretty sickening. Who are those from?
Look at
Where did you get those? I'm jealous. I want a pair of my own.
Unicornspoopglitter.com. Oh, she will make you a pair, but you can get these at unicornspoopglitter.com. I wore these on TV. I think these are called the Diamantes.
Wait, Acid, because I want to buy a pair. Are there different versions, or is it just that one pair?
No, there's different colors. There's different lengths. It goes short. It goes long. You can get it. If you have darker skin. She also has like the trans flag.
So she's all inclusive.
Lots of different colors. Yeah. So unicornspoopglitter.com.
I love
Get
that.
you a pair of some of these nail gloves. Look how fierce it would be if I smoked.
Friend of the pod. Friend of the pod.
Friend of the podcast.
Sponsor of the pod. No, those are so fierce.
Those look incredible.
I need to do like a bulk order and just order a bunch of them because I was checking out her Instagram a couple of days ago and she's got some cunty stuff.
A few girls do that, and they buy they usually buy a truckload, like Latrice,
if I sent her an idea, would she kind of maybe run with my idea and play?
Yes. She also told me that she has a pair of like lace ups already waiting with your name on it. I've been waiting. I don't know if you know about that.
Okay, next pod, I'll be having them on my hands.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry.
No, I was just saying I got to get my own pair to wear for the next pod, like next week.
Hello.
Okay.
So we are now doing. What is it? So let me close this because I'm like producer booster.
Do I get to bitch about Monet yet, or is that still to come?
That's like the very end. Yes, let's go.
Yeehaw! You know what time it is. This is our weekly fashion segment here at Race Chaser, and it's called The Runway Rundown. Race Chaser. Work the runway, sweetie.
I love the country music.
Stage Cooch. Yes. All-Star 10, Episode 8. Acid Betty is up first, giving an interpretation. This is not a recreation. This is an interpretation.
It's dragged up better. She dragged it up. Now, this is a Versace vintage piece with crystals, mini skirt. Her stylist had to rip the feathers off because Miley wasn't wearing anything animal-based at the time.
Oh.
There were feathers all over this, too. And I remember just
We have to get Michelle Visage's clip where she says, I thought she quit the crystal.
I thought she quit the crystal.
Soundboard.
Thank
you.
Thank
you, Michelle.
Acid looks very cool. The glove hits the right length. The titties are a little trompe-l'oeil. I think she could have put a tit in there a little bit. I mean, she's one of those girls that just flat doesn't wear titties.
Who doesn't wear tits?
Who does that?
Why don't these new girls put in a breast?
Why wouldn't you just wear
I forgot mine at home. I felt like it was a tribute to Jiggly.
I just want to say that I love that they called me a new girl. Thank you so much.
Did they? I think you misheard.
They said, why don't these new girls wear tits?
Oh, baby. No, they must have had you confused with the other Betty.
Got it.
No.
Who also doesn't wear tits.
I know, but why is everyone coming for the breast situation? I'm like, did you remember the season 7 runway that was like everyone had to be naked and like everybody had fucking airbrushed tits?
Yes.
You remember that? Was it that big of a deal? Was it that big of a deal that people had airbrushed titties back then?
Well, yeah, because Michelle Visage didn't like that Violet Chachki's body was giving boy.
Yeah, I that is crazy.
Now here's real shade.
Okay.
And then that was 7, and then 8 happened, and Michelle Visage's child came out as non-binary.
Right. Okay.
And she lived that I had no tits, and she lived that I was like, oh, interesting point of view, Michelle Visage.
Did Michelle read you for your boobs, or did any of the judges read you for what everyone is talking about on these podcasts?
She loved that I had no boobs. And that's because real women know that sometimes there's breast cancer or you just don't have boobs.
No, fully.
And
people
also,
get double mastectomies.
Women are hairy. Yeah. And then they get, yeah.
That's right. Guess what? Women grow hair women grow hair under their armpits and their legs too.
No.
I know, shocking. It's shocking. Society doesn't understand it yet. It's wild. But
they
it's
should
true.
sell razor blades just for women, if that's the case, and make more money.
I would say that sounds like capitalism to me, but I'm sure it would,
like a pink tax.
There's a market for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, my tits. She looks great, but here are my gripes.
The gray hair?
Why? Yes, Miley's in a 613 ponytail. So why aren't we doing like a 613?
Miley's in a 613 dreadlocked ponytail. So I think Acid made the choice to go a way that wouldn't get her heat on the internet.
Well, yes, but why not 613? 613 look.
Girl, do you know how much crap I would have gotten if I was wearing Thorgy's hair? Thorgy's fans would have eaten my face off if I had
Also-
Thorgy's hair.
If you would have shown up with something like that, everybody in the room would have been like, girl, why the fuck do you have that kind of wig? You cannot wear that. So...
Yeah, they'd be like, you are appropriating Thorgy's culture. And I would be like, I didn't even think about it.
Listen, Thorgy's not even in the chat today for her to defend herself.
Great with like
Correct.
silver and diamonds.
This probably was because this is shitty braiding hair, probably all teased up. And when it's more close to each other, it probably would read more 16. But with all the air in it and then the lights going through, I feel like we're getting gray from the backdrop and it's skewing like a gray.
Yeah, no, it's just human hair. It's not
whatever
she's calling it, some cheap ass cuckoo. No, it's the same kind of hair that Willem's wig is made out of, except it's 613.
And it's
Willem's
stylized
is like a yellow, dirty 613.
Well, and the difference is yours is stylized to fit your drag persona, and Willem's could just be put on any girl.
Yeah, well, I was told by producer we have to explain. So Willem is wearing what she would call a very large wig. It's about 2 or 3 inches of tease.
Yeah,
on
just
her hair.
just a base tease at the front to show a bang.
Black bow.
Yeah, a petite bow.
And she got Texas dirt on her forehead to, give us a little contour realness.
And it looks like she also went to Charming Charlie's to get those earrings. So Charming Charlie's is a trend alert for the week.
She got those nails there because she was applying them at the beginning of the show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it seems like purplish.
Yeah, I think that the lighting plays a little bit.
Wait. She said my hair looks purple and the entire frame is purple. I'm so sorry.
No, literally.
It's
just going through
lighting. Willem, thank you for using your eyes.
Let's talk color theory really quick.
1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 6. Looks like there's 6 purple lights sitting directly behind me.
Right, and when you wear
piece of paper has purple on it, what will the white paper look? Purple.
Yes, and what color is blonde?
White.
What color is blonde? Yes. Girl, oh my God.
I live. I
just don't like that
these
when
divas
acid
don't think about
turns, her titty like distorts and morphs like the bot. I think a bit of
I agree.
Some architecture under there instead of just
Put
paint.
a tit in.
Put a tit in.
Put a tit in.
Diabetti is in a
Put a tit in.
diamante studded gown. One of the ones who makes all the stuff for the girls.
Garo.
It's good.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. It looks like something you would definitely wear.
Totally.
For sure.
It's Miley's.
No, it does, because Alaska usually takes garbage bags. Or actually what Alaska used to do is she would go Party City or whatever and pull those plastic tablecloths that comes in a color.
Yes.
And that would be her dress. So I was on tour with her and she went to some stores. She came back and she had like brown, red, orange, yellow. I was like, what is that? She's like, oh, these are my outfits for tour.
I mean, that's honestly so sickening. Girls couldn't get away with that now.
This is something that she would wear.
Let's see. Look, so you're calling my out? No, wait. I just connected the dots.
Oh, you're
I just connected the dots. You're calling it garbage. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That took you longer than one of your stories.
Okay. Now you're just beating a dead horse. Rude.
The hair.
Wrong.
When you're doing a recreation, I feel like it's the wrong color. It's the wrong peak of the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like an attempt at recreating it that didn't hit right.
Again, Miley's hair in this original image is all brushed back and spiked up. Daya went, no, let me be a woman. Let me do 3 little...
I know!
And they're not doing it.
A recreation, you have to be a little ugly.
Oh my God. So if you have to be a little ugly,
gorgeous.
who is... No, so who is Alaska impersonating? Because she said you have to be a little bit ugly. Who was she impersonating in there?
Oh, I got you. I understand. And I have nothing to add to that.
I thought you'd tell me like maybe it's like a J-Lo movie or something, or maybe she's recreating something I just don't recognize.
Well, I was too busy thinking, wow, Alaska is sitting here reading me for the length of my wig, but that cowboy hat is squashed down on her little tiny pea head, and so
so she's wearing. Well, we have to describe for the audience, so you know before Daya goes in, she's actually wearing a hat that's too small for her head, and a wig
it's like
that's probably
crammed down
way flat
on her
and not
head.
good for her oversized head. Yeah, and her face looks too big for both.
But you know what? I really can't read the diva because I am sitting here doing my podcast out of drag, so at least she's got the props for getting in drag every time she's filming that. But I will say I would never be caught dead on a podcast wearing something so ugly.
All right.
Girl, okay, well, do we want to talk about that message you sent me one morning and I woke up to and had like a full mental breakdown to, and it all stems from Monet Exchange?
I love that you gave me all the clues.
I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just going to beat you to it.
I saw a clip. Online, and I heard your name come out of someone's mouth, and I was like, so I just texted you. I know it was way earlier time. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I texted you like, did you know that you were Monet's like worst guest?
Did we have that video clip where she said that before I start talking my 2 cents into it? Just so people that might be unaware.
So Bob, who Vanjie? Vanjie was the most difficult guest I've ever had on the pit stop. And I think that comes across in the episode. When I watched the episode, you had told me beforehand, because you literally called me leaving set because of how upset you were, and you think it absolutely is. You can see the episode. It's you hid your diabetes, how difficult it was. I could not possibly hide how. And then at one point I said to her, if you don't answer this question, I'm going to. So like I could something like I was like, I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. You have to answer at least one of these questions. You literally must answer at least one question. She was driving me absolutely insane. Liquor? Y'all got liquor?
Okay.
So the implication is that you are an insane guest, right?
Yes. And okay, so I actually saw it for a split second before you had sent it to me that morning. But I kind of just like let it be. It had been brought to my attention, but I was like, you know what? I didn't see anyone talking about it online at all. Like nobody was talking about their podcast or like them mentioning that. But then it somehow made it to Reddit, which is when you sent it to me, I think. Okay.
Got it.
So then I wake up and I hear that. Mind you, the day that you sent it to me was the first day I got to sleep in my own bed for like over a week and a half. So I was just like so exhausted. And I got really in my feelings about it because, well, insert screenshot of text message here from Monet Exchange. It said, I had texted her the day after we got done filming the pit stop, okay? I had texted her after we had finished wrapping because she gave me her phone number because we had a good time. We keyed, okay? She literally gave me her phone number and was like, text me anytime, whatever. I sent her a text message. I said, Monet, so happy to have worked with you. Thanks for making me feel so comfortable. Enjoy Wicked, because we were talking about how Wicked had just come out and she was going to see it that night. She responded back and said, of course, my love, you were great. You were great. Now, I did go back and I listened to the full audio clip because I wanted to know the context around why she was saying I was the most difficult pit stop guest. I wanted to kind of like listen to this before I sent her a message about that video clip that started circulating. And I listened to it and it sounded like the only reason she was annoyed with me or thought that I was the worst pit stop guest was because I had a wig, and God forbid that I'm a drag queen who makes my own hair. So the only thing she mentioned on the Sibling Rivalry podcast about why I was difficult to work with was because I had dyed a wig in my hotel room the night before with Arctic Fox semi-permanent dye. It's the only thing I fucking had with me, okay? I think I stopped by like a CVS or something and got it. I washed it, I dyed it all in my hotel the night before, so I'm an idiot. I just didn't rinse it the amount of times I should have rinsed it to get that like dye out. So when I was sweating on set the next day, because I wear leather and fur pretty much anytime I'm in drag, that's part of my getup. Why am I sitting in a studio that's over 75 degrees if we have drag queens that have fur and leather and whatever on? So I was sweating and I was having a little sweat stream that I didn't want to be on camera because I am sitting there filming and my face is facing Monet and there's a camera right here. So I wanted to make sure that I'm not going to have a Rudy Giuliani sweat dripping down my face the whole time I'm doing the pit stop. So yeah, I requested two times.
Why not? Why not?
Because that's, I knew it was happening and it was a stimulation thing. I'm like, one, I'm dying of heat.
It's kind of cool.
I'm dying. I know, right? I'm bleeding. It just looks like blood.
Yeah.
But I'm sweating, and we
Really
stopped
cool.
twice. We stopped twice at the beginning of of us filming the pit stop, so I could dab it. We were not even 2 minutes in, and I had to stop. Okay, and then her earring fell off the third time we started, and we couldn't find the back to it or whatever. So there was another time we had to lag because of her. And then she needed help putting the earring back in because Monet, hate to break it to you, you have a whole team there helping you get into your wigs and your makeup and your outfits, where I was on the road coming from gig to gig and I had to dye a wig in my hotel room the night before and I'm trying to get myself dressed because I have no one there to help me. So, like, God forbid I'm a drag queen doing drag queen things and I am sweating because I'm doing it all myself. And then when we had wrapped, I felt like the whole conversation was really good. And I felt like the episode was fun to watch. You said you watched it and you enjoyed watching it too. It was good reception.
Yeah.
So I was just as confused to hear her talk about that on Sibling Rivalry. So it pissed me off. But whenever you brought it to my attention, I laid low on it. You calmed me down. You messaged, you had walked me through because I was feeling some sort of way. I was getting very emotional about it because the thing is even though it was just because of the sweat and we had to stop a couple of times, that's not what people are listening to. People are seeing the headline, Daya, the hardest pit stop guest for Monet Exchange, and they're going to assume that I'm not an easy person to work with. I play a bitch on TV, but this bitch also wants to pay my fucking bills, girl. Like, I'm a professional when it comes to my work setting. I show up, I do the job. I've always done it that way. You can ask anybody I've ever worked with. So for her to say something like that, and that's what's grabbing people's attention, it makes me just look like I'm hard to work with, and that is not the case. So I'm sticking up for myself. So I wanted to show the screenshot of the text message that I sent to her that night when I left the filming studio of her being like, you were great, girl. And then her to do that on Sibling Rivalry and not even bring it to my attention, like, really hurt my feelings. And then after you had calmed me down, because I was going to go on Twitter and be a huge cunt about it, I had taken a breather and I stepped back. I was like, I was just over exaggerating. Well, 2 weeks later, I saw that the tab.com, insert the tab.com or whatever, had written an article about it. And the fact that there was an article written about it, it pissed me off. So I sent a message to Monet. Okay. And I sent her this. I don't know if you want to include the screenshot or if you want me to read the whole thing. But
you're going to read the whole thing?
Maybe we just insert the group, the shot. People can pause and read it. But what I sent to her after another one of my friend group chats sent me the tab article, okay, talking about this. And so it's like, okay, well, it's not like it's like I didn't see it circulating on Twitter. It really wasn't that big of a deal, but like, I just wanted to clear my own name just in case there are promoters coming across and seeing that and thinking I'm hard to work with, because I'm not. So I messaged Monet and I just told her basically in a short version, because I know you don't want to hear me do the whole long version. Well, I don't think I need to. I basically just said what I just told you and how I was feeling and how I feel like people will kind of just latch onto certain key parts of what they see and they'll run with that. And I hope she can understand from my point of view. That's frustrating because I felt like we had a good time. I really did. And maybe I'm unaware. Maybe I was unaware of something that happened and I would like to be informed if there was something that I did that I wasn't aware of. So then she did text me back, and I didn't tell you this part because I was waiting to talk about it on the pod. But she did text me back, and she just said that the clip is being taken out of context. She said that I was the most difficult because she made a joke about the dye running from my hair and how we had to stop and start. And it was all fun, shade, and nothing mean-spirited. But it's like, I'm glad you're saying that. I appreciate Monet, like, clarifying that for me. And that's basically where the conversation ended. I thanked her for clarifying it. But also, it's like, girl, you know what you're doing. You're feeding into, like, you understand what people are going to see when they see this. So I think we're in the clear. Like, I literally told her, like, you know, I told her, I was like, thanks for clarifying. We're all good. But, like, it pissed me off. And I let her know. And the reason I went to her and texted her rather than just being shady and going online and all that bullshit was because I'm like, she's literally going to see me text her and not want to have an argument. So she's going to, like, you know what I mean?
Like, be done now.
That was all the tea. I just wanted to clarify on my end. So I don't know if I was overreacting. Maybe I still am overreacting. That's how I felt.
I don't think you're overreacting. I do think that people should choose their language wisely. And I think that's also why we started this podcast, because everyone's using their big mouths and their big platforms, and it's actually doing some damage to some people. So we're out here doing damage control and also being funny and creating our own fucking damage. Why the fuck not? We did a giveaway, and my producer said that there were some notes about us like limiting our comments or something like that. We're not limiting our comments. We did like a share post, and I think my settings are you have to follow me in order to comment on me. As you know, in this environment, there's a lot of like haters out there, and I appreciate it if you're like a hater or a troll. But if you are like a troll, you're gonna have to admit that you're following me. So click that follow button and then troll all the way. Do you know what I mean? Like, click follow on Acid Betty's profile and then be like, you suck, pay your bills, do whatever the fuck you want to say.
I was just saying that that's genius. I didn't even know that you could not allow people to comment if they don't follow you. And now you're going to have to teach me how to do that.
You can't like come to my account and like want to say something without following me, because you have to admit you're following me. You're a follower. So click follow, troll me all day long. We know you can't wait to see what's next.
Like and subscribe and stay tuned for episode 2.
Want us to review your review? Then tag us, bitches. Hashtag Petty Betties, hashtag Petty Betties Podcast, at Daya Betty or at Acid Betty.
The Petty Betties are watching you, watching us.